This conference will now be recorded.
So today we will be discussing about 16 fields of pricing, and today will be the last session for the pricing concept. So 16 fields of pricing. Let me go to the server. V/06, sorry, V/08, that is a pricing procedure. Pricing procedure. Select your procedure, like our procedure is CV0001. Select this and go to the control. So whatever you're seeing the fields here, right? Different fields. They are in total 16 fields. So that's the reason we call this as pricing 16 fields. We usually don't call it as pricing procedure. Whenever it comes to the concept here, we call it as 16 fields of pricing. For sure, you'll face one question from this screen, whatever you're seeing, and from today, whatever we're discussing. So 16 fields of pricing is very important. So the first field is a step. So this field step will help us to place the condition type in a sequence. You see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, right? So step will help us to place the condition type in the procedure in a sequence. And step will also help us to do the calculations. You see, Shashank, can you hear me, Shashank? You joined twice.
Sir, actually, sir, the earlier laptop which I
there is an echo for me, so if you join twice, there will be an echo for me.
Yeah,
can you please exit and can you keep it one?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Actually, the earlier laptop from which I joined, there was some problem with the mic. I was unable to reach you. So I just downloaded it on the new one. I had my personal and the company one.
Okay, no problem. But just see if you can fix it, because I'll have an echo if you join twice. Anyone if you join twice, I'll have an echo. Just see
Sure.
if you can fix it. Just fix it. Okay.
I will check that, sir. I will do that.
Yeah. So step will help us to place the condition type in the procedure in a condition types in a procedure in a sequence like 10, 20, 30. And the step will also help us to do the calculations. You see, whenever we are doing a calculation, what we are saying, we are mentioning on what you want to calculate, right? So you are mentioning the step numbers in from and to, right? Both you are mentioning, right? So that you can do some calculations or accumulations. Right? So that is step. Step will help us to place a condition type in a sequence, and also it will help us to do calculations and accumulations. Then next is counter. See, sometimes the projects can be 10 years old, 15 years old. And if projects are such a old projects, you will not be getting steps available to place the condition types. Okay. You see here, we use the 30, 35. Let's say we use the 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 35, so up to 40. So if I want to place a condition type, I don't have any space, right? So if it's an old projects and if you don't find space to include a new step in already existing procedures, we can use counter. So counters are like substep. Counters are substeps. That means if you don't have space to include a condition type here, you can include the condition types here. It will act as a substep. In the HANA, as for HANA, the change what happened is, see, this counter used to be only 2 digits. In the ECC, you can enter only 2 digits. You see, just 2 digits. But in S4 HANA, they have made it as 3 digits. Because as I told you, if you don't have space here, at least it should accommodate here. Even here, you have an option for only 2 digits. That means up to 99 only. But now it has taken 3 digit. Right? So counter is nothing but like a substep. Then next is condition type. So condition type. Condition type will tell what kind of pricing element it is. Okay, condition type will help us to identify what kind of condition type pricing element it is. Right. Then next is description. What is ZROO? Anyone? What is ZROO?
The standard condition.
Standard condition for base price.
It's a standard base price. If I don't tell you, let's say that there is no description written here. Will you know that this ZROO is a standard base price? Is it possible? No, right? Never we can know it, right? What kind of condition it is, because we keep on copying and renaming it and using it. But how do we identify what kind of condition type it is? That is through description. So description will help the users to identify what kind of condition type it is. Let's say if I create a sales order VS01, we create a sales order VS01 and go to the conditions. So what does the description will do? Description will help the users to identify what kind of condition type this is. See, you are a consultant and you have created this condition type. So you will have an idea, right? As a condition, you know what is ZSUP, you know what is ZROO. But how do user know it? How do user know that what kind of condition type this is? What kind of condition type this is, right? By seeing the description, the user will be knowing what kind of condition type it is, right? So that is description, and description will also help us to bifurcate the pricing structure. You see, base value, gross value, that means price minus discount, how we are bifurcating the structure using the description. So description will help us in two ways. One is it will help the users to identify in the sales order what kind of condition type it is. That's the first thing. And the second thing, it will help us to bifurcate the pricing structure like this: gross value, net value, total value, and so on. Then next is from. From is also called as standard base. Next, you may be asking me a question: what is standard base? Standard base is nothing but from, because any calculation starts from here, right? So you are telling system, I want to calculate 5% on what? On this, right? That means how the calculation starts? Calculation starts from this. So from this field is called as standard base, and it will help us to start the calculation. And the two step will help us to conclude the calculation. We are telling system here, gross price is from 20 to 50. That means this from and to will help us to accumulate multiple steps like this: 20, 30, 40, 50. We are accumulating and putting in one line. So this from and to will help us to accumulate multiple steps, and from will help us to start the calculation, and to will help us to end the calculation. Manual, all header condition types are manual. If you mark any condition type as manual, that means user has to manually process that condition type in the sales order. Required means mandatory. For any condition type, if you mark as required, then if that condition type is missing from sales order, system will not allow you to save that particular sales order. You cannot save a sales order if any condition type which is marked as required is missing. The next statistical, you know already statistical. Statistical means even though we have the condition type in the sales document, it will not have any effect on the net value, and it will not post anything into the accounting, right? Then next is print. What you want to print in the outputs in the invoice, whether you want to print at the header level or item level, or you don't want to print anything. That is controlled here. You want to you don't want to print. You want to print at item level, or you want to print at the header level. So how the print should be happen in the outputs, that is controlled here. So far whatever we have discussed from step and up to the print, they are basic, just one line definitions. But what is the crux of this 16 fields? Why it is so important? That importance comes from this step onwards. That is subtotal. What is subtotal? Very, very important. So as I told you, they may not be asking questions out of these steps, whatever we discussed. From here, they will be asking subtotal. Let's say if we have given a credit limit of 5 lakhs to a customer, okay, we have given 5 lakhs credit limit to the customer, and we are creating sales order number 1 for X material 2 lakhs. Okay, so can I create an order now for this customer who is having 5 lakhs credit limit and this order value number 1 is 2 lakhs? Will system allow to create a sales order?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right? Because he has enough credit balance. So 5 lakh minus 2 lakh, the available credit limit is 3 lakhs. Now the new available credit limit is 3 lakhs. Let's say I'm creating order number 2 for this customer for X material and the order value is 3 lakhs. Now will system allow me to create an order? Order number 2? Yes, because order requirement is 3 and the available is also 3. So 3 lakhs minus 3 lakhs, what is the credit limit available now? 0. If I create an order number 3 now, let's say for X material 1 lakh, will system allow me to create an order for this customer? Will it allow? It will
It
not
should
allow.
not.
Right? It will not allow. Why? Because there is no enough credit balance for the customer. So how system knows that? So how system knows that, okay, this order value is 2 lakhs and he has 5 lakhs, I compared and allowed. Second order allowed. Third order system stopped. How system will know this all things? How system know that what is the available credit limit of customer and what is the order value and how system knows this? That is, see, whenever you want to do some calculation like this, or let's say your selling price is 1000 and your cost price is 600. Customer is telling that if any order, uh, uh, if any order you create, that should make more than 20% profit. How do you do that calculation? So if you want to know whether this order is making 20% profit or not, what values you need? Anyone?
Cost.
So you
Cost
need
has to
cost
be
price,
determined.
right? So in the sales order, you will have only selling price, right? But if customer is telling that I want to check if the sales order is creating 20% profit or not. If it is creating 20% profit, then only I want to allow that order to be created. Then what you need? You need selling price, right? So whenever you want to do some calculations, what you need data, right? You need some data like this. So subtotal, whatever we have discussed, subtotal is temporary tables and fields. Subtotals are temporary tables and fields. So in the first scenario, what's happening here is whenever you create an order, what system is doing is system is taking this 2 lakhs and putting it in a subtotal called as A. For credit management, subtotal is A. This is temporary table and field. So system has taken this 2 lakhs and put into this. And now system has checked against the credit limit available. 5 lakhs. Okay, order is created. Here what's happening? If I want to check whether how much profit is making, first system will take this and put it here in the subtotal called as 7. Subtotal number 7 table is per cost price. So first system has put 600 here. Then it compared. Basing upon what are the formula you are using, system will compare. That means, see, you have a formula, but what other thing you need if you want to do calculation? You already have a formula, and what other thing you need to do if you want to perform some calculation? You need data, right? Right? You need data. So how you'll get the data? That data you'll be getting it from this particular subtotal. So there are standard subtotals which SAP has given. If not, you can create some more subtotals. Okay, let me show you. So standard, this is a very important interview question. Definitely they ask in interviews also. And in the study material, you have all the subtotals, what all you need to go through. relog in. Tabriz, you are in this batch. Can you hear me? Sheikh Tabriz. Can you hear me, Tabriz? Yeah, let me go to v/08. Yeah, subtotal. See, formulas you'll put here. Calculation, base formulas. You'll put the formulas here. Once you have formulas, you need to have data, right? So from where you will get that data, you'll get it from subtotals. So subtotals will hold the data for temporary purpose. Once the calculation is done, then it's wiped off. Again, you can use it for next purpose. Credit management, A. Okay, rebates is 7 and cost price is B. Sorry, it's B, it's not 7, right? So there are some empty fields also which you can use. So this subtotal will hold the data so that you can add the formulas and then perform the calculations. So whenever you want to do a calculation, once you have a formula, from where the data will come from subtotal, right? Then next is requirement, or we also call it as routines. Don't confuse requirements and routines. The name is same. Okay, the name is same, but we interchangingly use it. Okay, routines or requirements, both are same. Here you see it says requirement, but if I open it, it will say routine. You see routines. What is a routine? Routine will perform validations. Yes, routines will perform validations, and if that validation is passed, then only system will allow us to get the condition type into the sales document. The validation should pass. So what kind of validation system will do? First, let's go with the standard routine 2. This is what the routine we are mentioning here, right, in all the cases. So standard items routine is 2. Item with pricing. It's saying that item with pricing. We can also read this code, at least in English we can read it, if not the technical thing. So just click on this source text in the bottom, let it open. I'll show you how to read this. You see here, what is this routine 2 is performing validation? What kind of validation is performing? See, price, you have a price. Discount means also price. Surcharge is also price. Price in the sense some value. It has some value, right? Tax also it has value. That means if you want to get a condition type into a sales document, that means if you want to get a price for a condition type into a sales document, system is performing some validation. What validation is telling? It's telling that sorry, go and check in the item category configuration. What is the T code for item category configuration? Anyone? Item category.
Vivo V4, Vivo V7.
Vivo V7. So what
Vivo-
system is telling? Go and check in the Vivo V7. What is obviously standard item category? TAN, for which you charge. Right? So here system is telling that go and check in this TAN whether this pricing is maintained as X or not. See, when you are able to charge for a material, when it is X or blank or B. When you are able to charge price?
When it is X,
X.
X.
Blank means there is no price. B means it is free goods, right? So what system is telling is you go and check in the item category configuration TBAP table that whether pricing is turned on or not. When if I want to say pricing on, that means it should be X, right? If it is B, Is that pricing on or off?
B is for free goods. TANN.
That means even though you have price, but you don't charge them, right? Only when it is X, you charge it, right? That's what the system validation is doing. That is, go and check in the item category configuration whether this pricing is X or not. If it is X, okay, then get that condition type into a sales document. That's what the validation system is performing here. 4, routine 4, what validation is checking?
Cost.
So routine 4 is checking that whether cost price should come into sales document or not. What is the condition type for cost price?
VPRS.
VPRS. So where did we maintain cost price?
Material Master Accounting Mode. VO.
Right? In the material master, we maintained them. But what system is telling is, even though you maintain cost price in material master, go and check in the item category whether the determine cost field is activated or not. Where is the determine cost? Here. You see, if this even though you maintain cost price in the material master, if this determine cost is activated, then only bring the cost price for this material into sales document. No. That's what the validation system is checking. Determine cost according to item category configuration. If it is yes, get the VPRS. If no, don't get the VPRS. Right?
Praveen, in procedure, where do we put VPRS condition type? Above all the steps or below all the steps?
VPRS is a statistical, doesn't mind where we put it.
Okay.
So then next is 9. 9. What does 9 checks? Let us see. 9 is telling, go and check whether it is relevant for cash discount or not. Where we maintain cash discount? Anyone?
Payment terms.
In the customer master payment terms. But if you remember, in the sales org 1 tab, material master, we have a field called as cash discount. What is the purpose of that field? Anyone?
Cash discount allowed or not?
Yes.
Right? That is, even though customer is eligible for cash discount, whether you want to give for this material or not, that's what you control, right? That is what system is telling. Go and check whether this material is relevant for cash discount or not. If this material is relevant for cash discount, then only bring the SKTO condition type into a sales document. That means, see, if you maintain VPRS, you need to assign routine as 4. If you put SKTO, you need to maintain routine as 9. Right? So then only system will check that validations and will allow that particular condition types into the sales document. 10, for a tax, it will check whether the plant is assigned to company code or not. So to perform tax, the plant should be always assigned to company code. So plant or departure country is set. That means whether it is assigned or not, that's what it's checking. You can see the table levels, at least works and UKRS. It's a logic, but at least you can see the fields. Do we have this is 10, right? Yeah. Then yeah, works means plant, right? BUKRS is company code. Somewhere you see plant equal to BUKRS. Works. Okay, somehow the logic is something different here, but it should have the BUKRS also, the company code. So it's checking that whether plant and the BUKRS is assigned or not. That's what the validation 10 is doing. So that tax can come into sales document. 22, intercompany sales. Intercompany means two companies belong to the same group. Two companies belong to same group. Apple India, Apple US. Both are Apple companies, right? So when you are delivering goods from Apple US to India, system will check whether these two plants are assigned to different company codes. Okay, let's say in Chicago we have a plant for Apple US, and in India we have it in Chennai. Right? These two plants should be assigned to two different company codes. One is US and India. Then only we call it as intercompany sales. So that's what system is checking here. That is whether the plant belongs to two different company codes or not. Intercompany transaction. That means, yeah, works means plant and BUKRS is company code. So system is checking whether the plant and company code is assigned to different company codes or not. Then only you should get validation for IV01 condition type, IV01, the intercompany, this one. Rebates. Rebates can be determined only in the billing documents. Rebates will come only in the billing documents. It will not be there in sales order. So that's what system is checking. Whether it is a billing document or not. Condition only applies if the document is relevant for invoice. That means it should be a billing document. That's what 22 is checking. And 55, free goods. So what does 55 is telling? Go and check in the item category whether pricing is B or not. What is item category for free goods?
TANN.
NN. If it is TANN, the pricing field should be B, right? B. What is B? Pricing for free goods 100% discount. That's what the validation is doing. Checking for B. What is B? Pricing for free goods 100% discount. See this? The same validation system is performing. Then only we call this as a free goods, and TANN condition type will come into sales document. Even 59 also the same. 59 also free goods, and it also checks for the same thing. So what is routine now? Anyone? What is a routine or a requirement? Don't confuse. Same. Both are same. Anyone? What is a routine?
It is a requirement.
A certain
It is a requirement.
condition which has to be determined before condition types come into sales document.
Right. So routine will do some validation. If validation pass, then only the conditions will come into sales document. Or passed, or you can say fulfill. Then when the condition is fulfilled, then only the system will get the condition type into the sales document. So from today onwards, we will be discussing routines in every topic. In any topic you take routine, the purpose is same. In the interviews also they'll ask you, did you work on Z routines? Have you developed any routine? Yes. Okay. So why you really need a routine? To validate. Let's say a customer is saying that I want a material to be behaved as standard and TAS at the same time. What is the difference between these two? Anyone?
TAN is
TAS is
standard.
third party item.
Third party.
This is standard item, this is third party. Does it has any difference? It has a lot of difference, right? If it is TAN, you manufacture the material and you sell it. If it is TAS, you take it from vendor and give it to the customer, right? We don't manufacture. This is a trading business. Correct? So, customer is telling that same material I want to do it both. You remember we have a field called as, what is that field? Procurement type. You remember where we have the procurement type?
Yes, Praveen, in Material Master.
What options we have?
In-house production and external procurement.
We have both, and we have one more option also: in-house production, external, or both. Three options we have, right? So this material I want it to be both. That means I'll do in-house production. I'll also procure it from outside. If I let's say if I go with the TAN, I want the price should be 1,000. If I go with the TAS, I want price should be 1,200. That is same material, two different prices. How system will know that? Can it be with the standard 2? Standard routine 2, is it possible? System can differentiate? No, system cannot differentiate it. So for that, what you need to do is your ABAPer will write a new routine to validate this. He will write a simple logic. I'll just tell in a plain English, simple language. Let's say TAN, if item category is equal to TAN, let's say he developed a routine called as 901. What is 901? Is equal to TAN. When it should be 1,200? When is it not equal to TAN? For that, he need to write a new routine, right? So if for that condition type, if you assign this routine, system will pick 1,200. If you assign this routine, system will pick TAN. So it's a simple logic like this, which your ABAPer will write and make sure and differentiate the conditions. So routine will help us to do the validations. If the validation pass, or then only system will get the condition types into the sales document. So from today we'll be discussing a lot about the routine. And in the document, whatever I'm sharing with the advanced concept, you have enough good routine. And see, I'll also share you one more document. Let me show you now. But don't by heart or memorize or put much intense on this document. This is only for reference. Go through this document called as pricing by AD. Every routine is explained here. Okay, and one more thing, I just forgot to tell you. SAP has provided, so why I written 901, 902 here? You see, why can't I write it as 500 or 300 something? Why I written 911, 902? Because standard SAP has given routines up to 900. Any new routine to be developed, it should be between 901 to 999. That means any new routine if you want to develop, that should be in between this range. Up to 900 is system resort, and SAP has given enough routines like this 2, 4, 10, 55, whatever we have discussed so far. So this document will explain you every routine, and from where this routine comes, that comes from the same transaction whatever I showed yesterday, VOFM routines. VOFM, and every lots of topic has these routines. Sorry, VOFM. You see, requirement, pricing routine, output routine, account determination, lots of concepts has routines. What are the routines we are discussing now? Pricing, for cost, right? So your ABAPer will develop a new routine, right? So these are routines. So these are routines or requirement. So go through this document pricing by AD. It will explain you every routine with an example. So you can see somewhere creating routine first scale. These are formulas. So even for formulas also we should refer the same document, but routines are also explained here. These are all formulas. Condition based value, condition value formulas. Formulas. Surrounding formulas. Somewhere it should be in this document only. All the technical stuff, the routines and formulas, everything. This document explains you very well. But don't put much emphasis. Don't by heart it or memorize it or read it 10 times. Just only as a reference for you to better understand it. Because even though how many times we discuss this will take little time for you to understand because altogether a complete new thing which we are discussing. So just go through this document as a reference later. So that is the routine. After routine, then next is calculation type. Calculation type, base type, both are formulas. You will understand these much better in the coming session when we discuss free goods. Okay. If you don't understand now, don't worry. At the time of free goods, you will better understand this because for free goods, we have two formulas called as 28 and 29. There are formulas. So I'll tell you in one line what happens with the formula. See, as you know that every company has its own way of calculation. Even though SAP has provided this much functionality, every company has its own way of calculation of price, discount, surcharge, tax, credit, right? Every company has its own calculations. So whenever the standard is not possible and you want to go with your own formulas, your ABAPer will be developing the formulas. Same, the VOFM you can see formulas, lots of formulas. Right? Lots of formulas, right? So these formulas you will be assigning here. What is the difference with these formulas? If you are going with standard base, see what is standard base? Anyone?
From step. From.
Right. So in this scenario, what is the value of standard base? Anyone? This is the standard base, right? Your price is standard base. Because any calculation, whatever you do, you are doing on standard base. Discount, you are calculating here on standard base, right? If you know the standard base, you need to maintain a condition record. But in some cases, what happens is you don't even know the standard base. You don't need to maintain condition record. System itself will do the calculation through formula and give you the condition value, right? So there is some difference mentioned in the document. Let me show you. So everything is explained in the document. Routines, what is the routine to? 99% you'll face one question on routine. 99% for sure. Okay. Yeah, this is difference between the standard base and alternative calculation type. So what's happening here? Both are formulas. Okay. So we use this particular alternative calculation type when the value is not standard. That means your price is not standard. It keeps changing. But here the condition type is not standard. Okay. If you are going with alternative calculation type, system itself will do the calculation and give you the condition value, so that you don't need to maintain a condition record. But here system will give you only the standard base, saying that if this customer is buying this material, usually the material price is 1000, but if this customer is buying this material, system will tell you you need to charge 900. But if you want to give 10% discount on what you calculate on this, for that you need to maintain condition record, right? So here system will give you only the standard base, but you need to maintain condition record on the standard base. Right? So that's the difference between calculation type and base type. So please go through the document pricing by Eddie. It will give you a better idea on what it is exactly, right? And the last but one field is account key. See, the first integration between SD and FI will happen here, account key. The first integration, because this again anyway we'll discuss at the time of revenue account determination, account key. See, I'm getting $1,000 from customer. Okay, out of the $1,000, 700 is price, and 100 I have given as a discount, and again I charged 200 as a surcharge, and I charged again $100 as a tax. That means, see, we want to post this all condition values into different GL accounts. How do system knows to post these values in different GL accounts? There are some parameters. This account key is also one of the parameters which will help us to post the condition values into the different GL accounts. Price, ERL. Discounts, ERS. Surcharge, ERF, freight. Tax, MWS. Like this, there are some account keys which are created, and these are parameters. So as of now, just only know the definition. That is, account key is one of the parameters which will help us to post the values into GL account. Okay, account key, it's a parameter to post the values into GL account. Right? We'll discuss more. Nothing to discuss again more about this. Even when it comes to the revenue account definition, also the definition is same, but we'll see the purpose of it at that time. Okay. And the last field is accruals. This is very important. Now this name accruals has been changed actually. Okay, in standard general English, what do you mean by accruing? Anyone? What do you mean by accruing?
Collecting, grouping something.
Right? Grouping or collecting, right? That is called as accruing. Here also you're doing the same thing. But what you're accruing, this is for rebates. So, okay, rebates, the account key is ERB. Okay, for rebates, account key is ERB. When you have a rebate condition type, then you need to assign ERB along with the accruals ERU. Okay, this will be ERU. This combination you will be maintaining only for the rebates. So why? Because let's say, what is rebates? Anyone? What is rebates?
Conditional discount.
Conditional
Yes.
discount, which is settled in future date, right?
Future.
Future date. Let's say in my business, we announced a rebate, so saying that in 2018, whoever the customers give 1 crore turnover, we will give 5% cash back. Let's say there are 10 customers who are eligible for this. So when you are settling this 5% to these 10 customers?
After 1 year, I mean,
2019 you will be settling. Because when I said 2018, until December 31st, you will calculate it, right? In 2019, you are settling. So when you want to settle this, okay, I'll take some random figure. When you want to settle this 5% to customers in 2019, let's assume that that amount of 5% is 20 crores. So 20 crores is a big figure or a small figure for a company?
Big.
It is a big figure, right? It's a big number. That means, say, if you want to settle a rebate in future period for a customer, company should have this much cash. And no company will have this much cash. It's not possible for them, right? So what they do is, whenever we declare, like announce rebates, let's say I declared a rebate on February 1st of 2018. From that date onwards, what we do is, irrespective of customer, from every sales order, I'll pull out 1% and I accrue it. Got the point? What is accruing? I'll take this amount from every sales order. I don't know whether this customer will be eligible for rebates or not tomorrow, but from every order we create, we take 1% and put it aside in a provisional GL account, or we call it as a temporary GL account or a provisional GL account. So this amount, whatever you pulled 1%, you have 14 crores already available with you. And how much you need? 6 crores. So 6 crores may not be a big deal for a company to manage because they already have 14 crores, right? So this is accruing. What is this accruals with along with why you maintain this ERU with ERP? It will help us to pull out some value from every sales order and post it into a provisional GL account. What is that provisional GL account? This provisional GL account will not have any effect on the net values. It will not post into accounting. It's a temporary GL account. Right? So that is what this accrual is all about. So what is accrual? Keeping an amount aside for each transaction into a provisional GL account to meet the future requirement of rebate settlement. So it will just post into provisional temporary GL account. It will not have any effect on the net value. That means it will not post anything into the accounting. Sometimes they can ask an interview question. I have a statistical condition type. I want to post into accounting. Is it possible to post a statistical value into accounting? Anyone?
No.
No.
It might be yes in provisional count.
Right. So it is not possible in the standard, but if you still want, we can do it. How we can do it? Even though it is statistical, you can post into some provisional GL account. But for that, you need to do some small customization. So this is the interview question they ask. So there is a condition type which is statistical, but I want to post into some GL account. How it's possible? So go and change for the condition type. The condition class is C. C means rebates. Then assign accruals. So the system will post the values into GL account. Because in standard, it is not allowed to post, right? So if it is something statistical, even though you assign account key, it will not post. For a statistical condition, you put account key, it will not post. But if you assign URL, that means you are telling system that you post into some GL account. So be perfect with this. Right? So this is all about the 16 fields of pricing. Right? So we finished discussing about all the 16 fields of pricing and complete pricing concept. There are something for you to read here. Just go through. As I told you, just ignore the reverse pricing. If you still want to go through, just go through the scenario. So there are some T codes, some knowledge for interview purpose. Just read these questions. That's all. Right. So we finished discussing about the pricing, and the major part of the training has been done. That means lengthy topics. See, pricing has taken close to 6 classes. The document type has taken 4 or 5 classes like this, right? But from tomorrow, whatever we are discussing, not even 30 minutes. Hardly 2 or in the next coming 20 classes, we'll conclude this batch. And every session will be hardly 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's it. Okay. So because every topic is very small, but for you to practice, it will take 2 days, 3 days. For one session, see, one topic, 1 day from tomorrow. It's not like one topic, 2 days, 3 days like that. One topic, 1 day, that too hardly 20 minutes, 30 minutes we will finish. But for you to practice, it will take not less than 2 days, 3 days. Right? So have some extra time for practice because you need a lots of practice time from tomorrow onwards. Right? So tomorrow first we'll discuss resume preparation. and then we'll continue with the basic functions. First, we'll start with the free groups. Yeah, any
Praveen,
questions?
Praveen, you have some stuff about the commodity prices?
No, I don't have anything, but if you want, I can try. If I get it, I'll definitely share.
Okay, thank you.
But I don't have any stuff with me. Let me just check. Let me just check. If I have something, I can get it. Yeah. Others, any other question?
Sir, like if you want to give for some particular customers only, I want to give discount. Like only for the 50 customers, I want to give discount. Means for that, how we will use it? Like we will create separate
Create a
discount type
customer
for them.
group. No, you just create a customer group or you create a customer list, price list. Have a price
But
list
the
also, right?
price
Price
should
group,
be
price list.
price should be different price. Like that means.
You asked about first discount, right?
Yes, sir. That's what discount only, sir. But different percentage of discount. For one customer, it should be 7% means. If for other customer, it should be 12% like that. Means
Then
same
maintain
pricing group we
individual
can use.
price. No, see pricing group, if that customer is coming from that particular group, same price will be applicable.
Yeah, sir. Price list also same like that only, no, sir.
Price list you can do.
Okay, sir. So for different type of percentage of discount means we can create a separate condition
Individual
type for.
That's it.
Okay, okay, sir.
Praveen, these alternate calculation type and base type that we discussed today, just to clear myself, standard calculation types are those that we see in condition type controls, fixed quantity, percentage, and value, and all that. And
Yeah.
they are standard, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
Calculation is
Praveen,
different, formula is different. See, calculation type is different, formula is different. Calculation type will allow you to calculate only on what value, like it's a fixed quantity, weight, or percentage. Formula is completely different because sometimes standard may not allow you to calculate whether price or credit or whatever it is. You have your own, see, simple. You have two stores side by side, and both stores are mobile stores and they are selling iPhone X. One store is offering for 1 lakh, other store is offering for 1,10,000. Why the difference? Same product, right? And side by side store in the same city. Why the difference? Because every company has its own way of calculation profit, discount, anything. Tax, okay, it is a standard. They cannot change tax. But rest anything, it's up to the company, right? So whenever if the standard is not meeting your requirement to calculate, then you go with this formulas.
okay, and some any documentation or any sample of these formulas being used are there in the EDI document that you've given?
Okay, can you repeat what is that?
Any example or sample where these requirement and routines, alternate calculation type has been given
Yeah,
as
that's
an
what.
example?
So you just go through this pricing by any document, and along with that, when I share you the advanced concept document, in that you have a complete explanation for routines. What is a routine? Or else I'll just show you it. Advanced concept. So it's not in advanced concept. It's there in the RISE. Yeah, even here also you'll be seeing it. If I go here, in the ABAP SD integration. Okay, we just started, right? I hope I have not given any introduction about this because until now we haven't integrated with ABAP. So here you can see RISE-UP is in E means enhancement, right? What enhancements you will do is the same enhancement. It can be a routine, it can be a formula, whatever it can be. So I'll share this document along with this in the Capgemini. Also, you have one more document which is ABAP for SD. When you go for ABAP for SD, it explains again the complete RISE-UP. Yeah, reports, interface, conversion, enhancement. Yeah. So here you will be seeing that particular enhancement. It can be user exit, it can be customer exit, it can be routine, whatever it is.
Can you share both documents, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share this. As of now, we haven't integrated with ABAP basis. I haven't shared this, but I'll be sharing this. And apart from this, let me share my own document. Is that right, sir? In this 200 pages document, go to page number 90. So here it explains page number 80. Page number 80. From here you have Compute RiseUp here as a in Compute RiseUp. Here it is explain everything enhancements and that you have the routines and everything, the FS logic. Anyway, this I will use pricing routine output requirements, VOFM routine, whatever we discussed. The routine should be from 900. We just discussed about VPRS 4. But this all I'll give you an like how to go through this. I just told you, right, there should be two prices, PR00, CPRO, two prices. So there are two routines. This is the logic actually. I just told you is equal to, not is equal to, but this is the logic. So when at the end, so you don't need to worry about these things now. Once, let us first focus on the SD concepts. Then at the last, in the concluding session, I'll take you through this and I'll share these documents.
And Praveen, I was creating condition table trying to create for tax MWST. There you told to select country. I cannot understand. There are two countries, and then departure. I cannot see departure anywhere over there, so I was stuck.
Departure country, you don't have it. Feel like that?
Departure. I didn't have departure field there in field catalog, but country was available, but two fields were there.
Yeah, one should be departure and one should be destination. Do one thing, go to the standard MWST and check whatever the fields number you have, refer to that numbers.
Should not I copy that MWST standard Praveen? Will that do?
You can copy it. You are using your own server or any online server?
No, that Nitin. I contacted Nitin.
There is some issue with that particular MWST. Just try. If it's not working, let me know.
For me also,
Okay.
Praveen, it's not working. I am using Venkatesh server, but taxes.
There is some issue with that because people are also trying in the GST. There's some issue. Let me check what happened really. Or else I'll tell them to reinstall the complete SAP application so that might should fix it.
Because we are stuck on that concept, like tax, we are not able to do.
Okay. So just give me 2 days. By weekend, I'll ask them to fix it.
Yeah, and some of the
Because
documents which you need to share also, please can you do it, because we like.
Definitely. Little awkward with some other work actually, so I could not do it. I will mostly do it tomorrow.
No problem. And then SAP like manual, study manual is also, which what I have received is till the pricing, like 213 page number. Yes. So you said you will be forwarding the other also.
Yeah, whatever is pending, I'll share.
Okay. Thank you.
To everyone, whatever is pending, I'll share. So we call it a day to catch up tomorrow.
Praveen, one more question. In pricing condition type controls, we have this block changes that could be made, and we have header condition and item condition flag in that block. Why, Praveen?
Okay. See, header condition will help system to understand which is a header condition, which is a item condition. Okay, that's a different concept. And which are the manual you are having, let's say whether it's possible manually or not, that is a completely different concept.
Okay. Actually, these flags were there, so I was confused.
Yeah. So these flags are in that block. That doesn't mean that it's applicable for even that. No, this concept is different. That concept is different.
Okay, Praveen. Okay. Thank you.
So tomorrow, please don't miss the session because we'll be preparing the resume, how to prepare the resume and all these things tomorrow that we'll be discussing. So don't please miss the session tomorrow. It's very important. And from what is today? Today is Wednesday. Yeah. From 11th, whatever we'll be discussing, that would be basic functions. As I told you, one day, one topic. Most probably, we'll conclude this batch by 5th of April. Okay, that means 3rd of April. If not, maybe somewhere around 8th of April, May. 8th of May, we will conclude this batch. That's a high time actually. One day, one topic. And as I told you, it will be a very fast pace from tomorrow because every day we will be taking a topic. It's not like one topic 3 days or 2 days. So please add 1 hour or 2 hours extra for preparation every day. Okay. So see you all and catch up tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.